Hello and welcome to everyone. Today our guest is Bkfc fighter Jack Freriks. Jack, thank you so much for accepting the interview call. And can you please get to introduce our fans with you a few sentences about yourself, your voyage, your career, so we can continue. Thank you so much for the interview.
Yes, sir. Yeah, my name is Jack Freriks. I'm from Lincoln, Nebraska. I started off doing MMA and then switched into boxing because I just like to stand up a little more, and then did some bare knuckle. And yeah, I'm just gonna stick to bare knuckle boxing and regular boxing from now on.
So, which was your fundamental, basic martial art when you started training? You kicked off with MMA or it was something different?
I started with MMA. I was kind of real into like Muay Thai and kickboxing, and I wasn't really too into the wrestling aspect of the sport. But I like MMA. I still like MMA a lot, but just wrestling isn't for me. I like to keep it standing. I like to kickbox and box.
Yeah. Okay, so you competed in MMA as an amateur, right?
Yep, I have about 12 amateur MMA fights.
So how did it go? Were you pleased with MMA? I mean, did you like MMA or how did it go? Why did you make the transition?
Well, my first like five amateur MMA fights, I didn't even go to a gym. Like I just got into street fights. So my buddy introduced me to a promoter. So then I started doing MMA fights without even having a gym. And then I finally found a gym and kind of settled in. So I went 7-5 as an amateur MMA fighter, but I won the Dynasty lightweight title, and I had some success, but I always struggled with like the wrestling aspect of the sport. So I figured like boxing and like kickboxing was more my way to go.
Who is coaching you at the moment?
What is that?
Who is coaching you at the moment? Coaching.
Uh, Bill Green. I train at Southside Boxing, and Bill Green is my coach and manager. So he also sets up my fights for me, and he's a solid coach, and solid manager.
Every Bkfc fighter has a favorite punch. Do you have one?
My favorite punch?
Yes.
Um, I got a nice left hook, I think, and a good right hand. I'm a counter puncher, you know. I always look. I'll wait for somebody else to throw, and then I'll throw off what they throw.
Well, actually, I've seen that in your fighting style. I've seen that you're a very, very patient fighter. You kind of remind me of one old school style boxer. Do you know Carlos Monzon?
Who's that?
Carlos Monzon, the best Argentinian boxer of all time. He is older
Oh,
boxer. Do you know him?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
You
he
know
was
him?
counter dude all the time.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I tell them. They're like, "Oh, what's your game plan?" I don't have a game plan. I'm gonna wait to see what the other guy does, and then I'm gonna go off what they do.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, I prefer counter punchers over offensive punchers, so I kind of understand how it goes. Do you have a nickname or you're still Jack Freriks?
Uh, my nickname is Lawless, but that's also my middle name. Like it's my real middle name. So I kind of kept it as my nickname because I used to get into a little bit of trouble here and there. So it fit perfect. But yeah, that's
So,
that's actually my real name. So I just left it as my nickname and rode with it.
so lawless means no law, right?
Yeah, no law. Yeah,
Well, for the bare knuckle ring, that's a very very good name.
it
You
fits
also
perfect.
competed at boxing.
Yep.
The main reason to transition from MMA to boxing was because you felt you belonged to standing aspect of the game, right? Or there was something
Yeah.
else behind that?
In the gym, I would spar with some high level boxers, and I would do well with them. And then when my coach, manager Bill Green, saw me spar with these higher level guys, he was like, "Man, I think you should box. You know, you do well with these guys." I'm not the best wrestler, you know. I'll admit, I was learning a little bit. I do okay, but I think like long term wise, career wise, boxing and bare knuckle boxing is the way to go.
That's awesome. Can we please talk about your boxing debut, but not bare knuckle, your first boxing fight? Can you please describe it?
Yeah, it happened kind of fast. They told me about like 4 weeks before that I'd have the match, and I was fighting a kid, Randy Mast. He was 1-1. You know, he had a decent amateur career, but I sparred some high level boxers, and yeah, it was a big show. It's for Showtime on a Showtime undercard, and yeah, I TKO'd him in like the third round. I think I put that on my Instagram. I put the video on Instagram.
Actually, Showtime Boxing is a very, very good promotion. If you fought on their undercard, that means you have high quality boxing.
Yeah, it was good for a debut fight. It was a good opportunity, and luckily I was able to perform well and get the TKO stoppage. I actually ended up rematching that same kid in my first bare knuckle fight.
Yeah, I know. How did you defeat Tyler Ross, right? Your second fight, Tyler Ross, right?
Tyler Ross. Yeah, there's no video of that one. I wish they would have posted the video of that fight. The first round, he did better than I thought he would. He landed some good shots, and I was moving around counter shotting him, and then I dropped him. I think in the first round, they called it a knockdown, but he was coming forward, and I was against the ropes, and I hit him, and he fell into the ropes, and it split his eye and some more stuff, and at the end of the second round, he went back to his corner, and I went and told my coach, I was like, he's done. I was like, he doesn't want to fight anymore. His eye was split. And he was like, when I was hitting him, he was making a weird noise. Like, he was like moaning, like, So I went back to the corner, and I was like, I don't think he wants to fight anymore. I think he's done. And then the ref came over and told us, they were like, that's the end of the fight. But yeah, I wish there was a video of that one, man. That was a good fight.
And Richard Smith was your third, right?
Who's that?
Richard Smith, right? Your third boxing fight?
Yeah, I fought twice in one night that day. My third boxing match and my first bare knuckle match, I fought both those guys in the same night.
Same night?
Yeah, I did it was supposed to be a tournament where the first round was a boxing match, and then for the first fight, and then in the main event, the winners fought bare knuckle. But one guy in the tournament pulled out, so they asked me, they said, do you want to fight twice, or do you want to fight two guys in one night? And I said, I came here to fight two guys in one night. I want to fight them both. So I fought Richard Smith in a boxing match, the first fight of the night, and then in the main event, I fought Randy Mass in a bare knuckle fight, and beat them both by decision. I wish I should have got the stoppage on them. We fought in like a gym. It was hot. It was like 100 degrees in that gym. Like, I was not prepared for the humidity, for the heat. Like, it was a weird environment, but with COVID and all that stuff, we did what we had to do.
So, what were the greatest differences between boxing fight and bare knuckle fight? What made you the greatest problem, and what was the positive side?
Like I said, before I started doing MMA, I did a lot of, I used to get into a lot of street fights. Like, I was like, so my coach was like, I'm not so sure about the bare knuckle. And I was like, man, I'm telling you, it'll be all right. I was like, this isn't my first rodeo. I've been in a couple street fights. So, but you can definitely tell, you can see from my last bare knuckle fight, man, like, I had just from a couple shots, I was cut up. Randy, when I fought him in our second fight, he was cut up too from just a couple shots. You could feel the difference with bare knuckle compared to gloves. Even in your hands, like, I can't make a fist with this hand anymore. Like, you hurt your hands. It's a different environment, but it's fun. Like, it's pure,
So you'll need some time to recover, definitely, due to these injuries.
Yeah, you can see my eyes and everything.
Yeah.
It's a different game, man. But yeah, I'm trying to get back in there. Hopefully December 5th, I'll box again in Hastings, Nebraska. Just some regular boxing again.
Are you pleased? Sorry, say.
And I talked to the promoter of the bare knuckle boxing for Bkfc. He actually just messaged me earlier today on Facebook and asked me how I was feeling. And I told him, I was like, my hand's a little shot. I'm healing up, but if you guys need me, give me a call. I'm good to go.
That's
so hopefully we'll get back in there soon.
Are you pleased with your performance against Antonia Hernandez, considering that you fought until the end? And
Nah, I'm not going to be satisfied with the loss. A lot of people told me, they were like, that's a good fight, and you guys gave the crowd a show, and I'm pleased with that. At least the crowd and my fans and everybody, they had a good fight to watch. But I'm not going to celebrate another man's victory. I'm not going to be happy with a loss. I know that I could have done better, and that's what bugs me. Like, I didn't fight the best that I could, and that bothers me.
what was your strategy for Antonia Hernandez fight?
It was, he was a last-minute replacement. I was supposed to fight an MMA fighter, and he's a boxer, so he came in, and I didn't even look him up. I didn't even like look at his tape or anything. I didn't care who they brought. I was like, I'm gonna go out here, I'm gonna put a jab on him, and I'm gonna move around and we'll see what he does. And he did well. He landed his shots well. I can't make an excuse about it, you know. Like he fought better that night. He landed, you know, he landed the better shots, and I got emotional. I put my hands down and I talked crap, you know, and I should have just performed better, and that's what disappoints me.
So your future plans are return to normal boxing or to remain at bare knuckle? What is the next step in your career?
Both.
Both.
Yeah, I'll do December 5th. I'll box in Hastings, Nebraska, but whoever calls me next, I want to get that back. I'm not like it like bugs me that I just took a loss, you know. Like I want to get that back.
How hard it is from 1 to 10 to fight in bare knuckle?
How far what?
How hard it is from 1 to 10 to fight in bare knuckle? 1 is easy, 10 is super hard.
I mean, like I'm gonna say it from a regular person's perspective. I think it's a 10, dude. Like a lot of people don't like getting in regular street fights, and you have to go out here and fight a guy that's trained to fight without gloves on. That's a whole other beast. Like this guy's trained to knock you out, and he's not wearing gloves. And like I respect any of those guys that step in there and do that. I respect for any of those guys that step in there and do that. And it hurts, you know. Like you saw a lot of those guys, they fold up when they do that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
It's not. It's fun, but it's not fun, you know. But it takes a certain guy to do that. A lot of boxers won't even bare knuckle box. It takes a true fighter.
Yeah, in a street fight, for example, everybody is not trained to hurt you. Most of the guys don't even know to fight, but in bare knuckle, everybody knows to fight.
Yeah, a lot of street fighters, like anybody can street fight. You know, these guys, if I get into a street fight, it's not even fair. These guys don't know how to fight, but like, you're fighting a trained fighter, bone on bone. Like, it's a different beast. Like, look at my face, you know, like,
Yeah.
It's fun though, man, and I like it, and I think the crowd likes it. I think the fans like it, and at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, you know. We give the people a show.
Yeah, but like in a street fight, for example, if an untrained guy comes, you can kick to the legs, you can, for example, ankle pick and do something like that, and he'll go down. But do this on a trained fighter, he'll laugh his ass off, probably.
Yeah, that's a go-to in a street fight. You hit somebody with a nice little leg kick, and they don't think it hurts that bad. But I'm like, dude, a leg kick hurts.
Yeah, so true. So for the next show, can you announce that it's gonna be another counter punching or?
What's that?
For your next show, would you announce that you're gonna fight again as a counter puncher, as a counter punching specialist, or maybe you plan to change your game plan or?
Yeah, I think I'm just naturally a counter puncher. Like even in sparring, that's what I do. Like when guys swing at me, I naturally move and swing back, but I always just go off what my opponent does. Like I don't like to make game plans because I never know what that guy's gonna do. Like the guy that I'm fighting, I don't know what he's gonna do. So if I make a game plan and my game plan's not going how I expected, then I'm hit, you know.
So you wanna say that you make game plan along the way when the fight starts, right?
Yep. It is what it is. We'll go out there and we both do our thing, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Would you like to add something? Is there something maybe we didn't say about your career? And the most important question, would you like to greet someone, maybe to mention someone?
To what?
Maybe would you like to mention someone, you know, to greet someone or...
Like, yeah, if I could, man, yeah, just like my coach and my team, man, Bill Green, and my team at Southside, and like everybody, man, like, I know I lost that last fight and stuff, but like even I wouldn't even be there without them, you know. Like, and I feel, even though I still got a long way to go. We're still going a long way with it. I'm not shying away, you know. We're gonna keep fighting, keep doing our thing. We got a long way to go, long career.
Yeah, of course, it's gonna be. Bare knuckle is one of the fastest growing sports on the planet, so it's gonna be fun for sure.
Yeah. Hopefully I can be one of the faces of it, man. Hopefully we can keep going with it. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much for this interview. I will create video. It will be online tomorrow. Just to know, I need some time to create it, and tomorrow your time it will be online. I will send you video.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you reaching out. We'll do another one soon. Maybe after the next fight, we can do another one.
Absolutely, just ring me up, and whenever you wanna talk, I'm down to go.
Right on, man. Appreciate you.
Alright, thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too.